The plates were still warm from dinner when I heard it. I wasn't supposed to be listening. I wasn't even trying. The walls in our house are thin, and when Lena laughs on the phone, I can hear every word from the other room. But this wasn't laughter. It was her voice, low and sharp, like a whisper filled with poison. "I hate being with him," she said. Those 5 words hit me harder than anything I've ever felt. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just sat there at the kitchen table, staring at the plate of pasta I'd cooked because I thought maybe, just maybe, a quiet night together would fix things. My hand was still holding the fork like I was frozen in time, but my mind started spinning so fast I couldn't catch a single thought. She didn't know I could hear her. She thought I was outside, taking out the trash. I could picture her pacing around in the living room, phone pressed to her ear, talking to someone about me, someone who probably knew more about my marriage than I did. I didn't even want to know what else she said. Every second felt like standing under a waterfall of acid, burning deeper into my chest. I stood up slowly, like if I moved too fast the whole world would collapse around me. I walked past the living room without a word. She didn't even notice me. I went straight to the bedroom, pulled a bag from the closet, and started throwing my things into it. Not carefully. Not like I was packing for a trip. I was shaking so badly that I dropped my phone twice. I didn't leave a note. I didn't tell her why. I just grabbed my keys, walked out, and drove away. The strangest thing? I didn't cry. Not then. Not even when I checked into the first motel I found. A place with buzzing neon lights and a receptionist who didn't even look up from her phone. I just sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the ugly floral carpet, feeling like my entire life had been a joke I didn't get. By midnight, my phone had 12 missed calls. Lena's name, over and over. I didn't pick up. I couldn't. I wanted her to feel even a fraction of the pain I felt hearing those words. But then, around 1 a.m., a message came through that made my stomach twist. "Curtis, please answer me. Something happened. Please. I need you." I wanted to ignore it. I wanted to let her stew in whatever guilt or panic she was feeling. But something about the tone of that message, it wasn't just about us anymore. It felt bigger, heavier. And that's when I realized maybe I had just walked away from more than my marriage. By the second day, my phone looked like it had been hijacked by a ghost. Missed calls, unread texts, voicemails stacking up one after another. At first, I ignored them all. I wanted her to feel what it was like to be abandoned, to sit with that emptiness and wonder if I was ever coming back. I wanted her to realize that words like, "I hate being with him," aren't just things you can spit out and take back later like nothing happened. But the longer I stayed silent, the stranger her messages became. At 9 a.m., she texted, "Curtis, where are you? Please, I didn't mean what I said." By noon, "This isn't about you. Please just come home. I'll explain everything." That last one made my stomach drop. What did she mean? This isn't about you. Who else was it about? By evening, I couldn't take it anymore. I finally played one of the voicemails. Her voice was unsteady, almost frantic. "Curtis, I think someone is watching me. I don't know what's happening, but I swear I keep hearing noises outside the house. Please, if you get this, I'm begging you come back. I need you here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean any of it." I sat there in the motel room, staring at the peeling paint on the walls, wondering if this was some twisted trick. Was this just guilt? Was she trying to reel me back in with some fake story about danger? Or was there something real happening? A part of me wanted to believe her, to just pack up and go back home. But another part of me remembered every little sign I'd ignored before. The late-night work calls. Her sudden habit of stepping outside to take phone calls. The way she'd stop smiling whenever I entered the room. It all screamed that she wasn't telling me everything. Still, that voicemail played in my head all night, every word of it. I barely slept. The next morning, I drove by the house just to see. I parked 2 streets away, like some creep stalking his own life, and watched from a distance. The blinds were drawn tight, but the lights were on. I saw her silhouette in the kitchen, moving nervously back and forth. She was talking to someone, but not on the phone this time. There was a figure in the living room, sitting on the couch. A man. He wasn't anyone I recognized. I felt my heart slam against my ribs. So this was it. She'd already replaced me, not even 48 hours after I'd left. My first instinct was to storm in there and throw him out. But something made me stop. I just sat in the car, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. The man didn't look casual. He wasn't lounging like a guest. He sat stiff, alert, almost like he was waiting for something. I don't know how long I stayed there watching, but at some point, I realized I wasn't just angry anymore. I was curious. Who was this guy, and why was my wife acting like she was scared out of her mind? That's when I saw it. The man got up, walked to the window, and pulled back the blinds just enough to look outside. Our eyes met for half a second, long enough for me to see something cold and hard in his face. He wasn't just some random friend. He wasn't family. And the way he stared at me, like he knew I'd been watching, sent a chill straight down my spine. I ducked down in my seat, heart racing. What the hell was going on in my house? I stayed crouched in my car, barely daring to breathe as the blinds dropped back into place. My mind was a mess of rage and confusion, twisting into knots I couldn't untangle. Who was that man? Why was he in my house, sitting on my couch like he belonged there? I wanted to believe it was harmless, that maybe he was just a friend or some relative I didn't know about. But the way he looked at me through the window, cold, sharp, like he was daring me to come closer, told me this was anything but harmless. I thought about calling Lena right then, demanding answers, but I couldn't do it. I didn't want to hear her voice lie to me. Instead, I waited. I sat there for almost an hour, my legs cramping up, watching the shadows move behind those drawn curtains. At one point, I saw Lena's silhouette standing stiff near the doorway, and I swear I saw her flinch when the man stepped closer to her. She wasn't talking anymore. She was just standing there, like a cornered animal. That's when my anger started to shift. For the first time since hearing her say she hated being with me, I felt something else, fear. Not for me, but for her. I got out of the car and started walking toward the house, my heart pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. Each step felt heavier, like I was dragging myself into something I wasn't ready for. I didn't have a plan, no idea what I was going to say or do if I opened that door and found him there. My hand was already reaching for the doorknob when I froze. The living room window was slightly open, and through it, I heard something that made my blood run cold. "You think he'll come back?" The man's voice was low, but I could hear the edge in it, sharp and dangerous. "Because if he does, you know what's going to happen." Lena's voice trembled. "Please, I don't want any trouble. Just leave before he..." "Before he what?" The man cut her off with a laugh, the kind that makes your stomach twist because it's not really about humor. "You think he's going to save you now? He's gone, Lena. And you and I both know why." I stumbled back a step, my head spinning. What the hell was going on? Why was this guy threatening her? Why was she scared? I had walked out on her because I thought she didn't want me anymore, because I thought maybe she had someone else. But this wasn't what I imagined. This was something darker, something that had nothing to do with our marriage falling apart. I didn't stay to hear more. I ran back to my car like a coward, my brain screaming at me to do something, but my body refusing to move. I sat there gripping the steering wheel, my breath shallow, my pulse racing so fast it hurt. Every instinct in me wanted to kick down that door and drag her out, but the truth was, I didn't know what I was up against. I didn't even know who that man was. And then my phone buzzed on the seat beside me. A new text from Lena. "Curtis, I need you. Please." "He won't leave. I'm scared." That was the moment I realized this wasn't just about us anymore. Whatever she had gotten herself into, it was serious. And for the first time in days, I wasn't just the guy she hated being with. I was the only one who could get her out of this. But I had no idea what I was about to walk into. I sat in the car long after that last text from Lena, staring at my own reflection in the windshield. I looked like a ghost, pale, exhausted, with hollow eyes that didn't belong to me anymore. My hands wouldn't stop shaking, partly from fear and partly from this boiling rage I couldn't get rid of. I wanted to go in there, rip that door open, and drag whoever that man was out of my house. But a part of me knew I couldn't just walk in blindly. Something about him, the way he sat, the way he looked at me, told me this wasn't some random guy. This wasn't someone I could reason with or scare away by raising my voice. He had the kind of presence that said, "I'm not afraid of you. I've done worse." So I waited. I waited like a coward, parked 2 streets away, watching my own house through the trees as the night grew darker. At one point, I saw Lena peek through the blinds, her face pale and tense, like she was searching for me. I almost stepped out then, almost waved to let her know I was there, but something stopped me. The man was still inside. If she saw me and reacted, he might know. I needed to be smart, but I had no idea what smart even meant anymore. Around 10 p.m., I saw the front door open. The man stepped out first, scanning the yard like someone who'd been in situations where being followed wasn't just a possibility, but an expectation. He was tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a black jacket and gloves, even though it wasn't cold out. He looked like someone you wouldn't want to cross in an alley. He walked to a car parked down the block, not Lena's, not mine, an old, dark sedan with tinted windows, and got in. My gut screamed at me to follow, but I couldn't leave Lena alone, not like that. I waited until the sedan's taillights disappeared into the distance before moving. My legs felt like concrete as I walked toward the house. I didn't even knock. I pushed the door open, and there she was, standing in the middle of the living room, trembling. She looked at me like she wasn't sure if I was real or just something she'd imagined. For a second, we didn't speak. Then she whispered, "Curtis, oh my God, you're here." "Who was that?" I asked, my voice shaking, though I tried to sound steady. "Lena, who the hell was that guy?" She hesitated, biting her lip like she was trying to hold back tears. I can't explain everything right now. Just trust me, you need to go. It's not safe for you here." I laughed, a bitter, broken sound. "Not safe for me. This is my house. That guy was in our house, Lena. What the hell is going on? And why were you acting like you were terrified of him?" Her eyes darted toward the door, as if expecting him to come back any second. "Please, just listen to me. If he finds out you're here, things will get worse. Much worse. You don't know him, Curtis. You don't know what he's capable of." I stepped closer, my anger bubbling up again. "Then tell me. Stop hiding things from me. I left because I thought you didn't love me anymore. I thought maybe you were with someone else. But this isn't just some affair, is it?" She shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "It's not like that. It's not about love. It's about something I did, something I can't take back." Those words hit me like a brick. I opened my mouth to demand an explanation, but that's when I heard it. A car door slamming outside. My blood turned to ice. Lena's face went pale. She whispered, "He's back." I moved to the window and peeked through the blinds. The dark sedan was parked right in front of the house this time, engine running. I saw the man get out, moving with this deliberate, slow confidence, like someone who knows they're in control. He didn't rush. He didn't have to. He was coming back to finish whatever business he had with Lena. "Curtis, you have to hide," Lena said, grabbing my arm. "Please, don't let him see you here." For a second, I actually considered it. Hiding, like some intruder in my own life. But then I saw the look on her face, the kind of fear that only comes from knowing someone truly dangerous. And I realized that if I didn't do something now, I might lose more than my marriage. I might lose her. The sound of his footsteps on the porch was enough to make every hair on my body stand on end. They weren't hurried or hesitant, just steady, confident, like someone who never second-guessed the space he took up in the world. Lena was gripping my arm so hard her nails dug into my skin, but I couldn't move. I was done hiding. For 2 days, I had sat in a dark motel room, thinking I was the weak one, the useless one, but not anymore. Whoever this man was, he had no right to step into my house and scare her like this. The door handle started to turn, and that's when instinct kicked in. I stepped in front of Lena and put my hand out, signaling for her to stay behind me. She shook her head, whispering, "Curtis, don't. You don't know what he's capable of." I swallowed hard, trying to summon some courage, but my heart was beating so loud I thought it might explode. The door creaked open, and there he was, tall, broad, with that same dark jacket and gloves. He froze when he saw me standing there. His eyes narrowed, but he didn't look surprised, almost like he'd been expecting me. For a moment, none of us said anything. The tension was so thick I could feel it pressing against my chest. Then he smiled, a slow, mocking smile that made me feel like a child about to be scolded. "So," he said, his voice low and calm, "you decided to come back. That's interesting." I felt my fists clench. "Who the hell are you, and why are you in my house?" He stepped inside without asking, without even a flicker of hesitation, as if I wasn't even worth taking seriously. "This isn't your house anymore. You walked away, remember? But don't worry, I'm not here for you. I'm here for her." He glanced at Lena, and I could see her entire body tighten, like she was about to crumble. Something in me snapped then. Maybe it was the way he talked about my wife like she was some kind of possession. Maybe it was the fact that I'd already lost so much and had nothing left to lose. I stepped forward, closing the gap between us. You're leaving. Now. Or I'll make you leave. He didn't move. Instead, he tilted his head slightly, like he was sizing me up. Then, with a tone so casual it made my skin crawl, he said, "You really have no idea, do you? She hasn't told you. Not about me. Not about why I'm here." I turned to Lena, my chest tightening. What is he talking about? What is this, Lena? She was pale, her eyes wide, but she didn't answer. That silence was worse than anything. It was like she was trapped between two nightmares, me demanding the truth, and this man who clearly had some kind of hold over her. The stranger chuckled softly, then stepped closer, invading my space. I could smell something faintly metallic on him, like rust or blood. You think this is about love? About marriage? No, this is about a mistake. A big one. One she made long before you even realized how broken things were. I didn't know what to say. I could feel my knees threatening to give out, but I forced myself to stand tall. I don't care what you think this is. You need to get out. That's when he pulled something from his jacket. It wasn't a gun, though for a second I thought it might be, but a folded photograph. He tossed it on the coffee table like a casual insult. Take a good look, he said. Then decide if you still want to protect her. Lena gasped, and that sound told me more than any words could. Whatever was in that photo, it was bad. I picked it up with trembling hands. What I saw made my stomach twist into knots. It wasn't just a photo, it was evidence. Lena, with this same man, but not like lovers. No, they were standing in some dark alley, and she was handing him an envelope stuffed with cash. Her face looked terrified. I turned to her, my mind spinning. Lena, what is this? Before she could answer, the man spoke again. She knows exactly what it is. And if you want to keep breathing without looking over your shoulder every second of your life, you'll start listening to me instead of playing the hero. I stared at that photograph until the edges started to blur. It wasn't just the image that rattled me. It was Lena's expression. She wasn't the woman I knew in that picture. She looked terrified, her shoulders hunched, her eyes darting off camera like she was watching for someone worse than the man standing next to her. My throat tightened, and for a moment I forgot how to breathe. I wanted to believe it wasn't real, that it was doctored, but deep down I knew it wasn't. I knew this was something I had no understanding of, something that had been happening right under my nose while I was too busy thinking my marriage was falling apart. Lena finally spoke, her voice breaking. Curtis, I swear, I didn't want any of this. He's not who you think he is. You don't know what I had to do. The man smirked, crossing his arms like he was enjoying every second of this unraveling. Go on, Lena. Tell your husband the truth. Tell him why I'm here. Or should I? She shot him a look that was half fury, half fear. Stop. Just stop. You've done enough. I stepped between them, my chest pounding like it was going to split open. Somebody better start talking, right now. Lena, what the hell is going on? What is this? I waved the photo like it was some kind of cursed thing. She shook her head, tears streaking down her face. Curtis, you need to leave. Please. If you stay, he'll drag you into this, and I can't. No. I snapped, surprising even myself with the force of it. I'm not going anywhere. Not until you tell me what's happening. You said you hate being with me, fine, but this is something else entirely. Who is he? What are you involved in? The man leaned against the wall, completely calm, like he had all the time in the world. You really don't get it, do you? Your wife owes me. She owes me more than you can imagine, and until I get what I'm here for, she's not going anywhere. Neither are you. Lena's breathing quickened. Curtis, don't listen to him. He's twisting everything. I made a mistake, but I can fix this. I just need. A mistake. I interrupted, my voice shaking. Lena, what kind of mistake brings a man like this into our home? What did you do? She closed her eyes, like saying the next words would break her. I borrowed money, she whispered. Not from a bank. Not from anyone you'd call normal. It was from my brother. He got into trouble, and I couldn't let him get hurt. I thought I could pay it back before anyone came after me, but I was wrong. I didn't know what this man was capable of. I felt the floor tilt beneath me. You borrowed money from who? This guy? The stranger grinned, but there was no warmth in it. Borrowed is a polite way to put it. Let's just say I don't work with contracts. I work with guarantees. She knew the rules. No late payments. No excuses. But she thought I wouldn't show up. My mouth went dry. And what? You think you can just walk into my house and scare her? Scare us? He stepped closer, and I could feel the weight of him like a shadow swallowing the room. You have no idea who you're dealing with. I've been patient, but patience runs out. I'm not leaving until I get what's mine. Lena grabbed my arm, her nails digging in. Curtis, please, just go. If you stay, he'll use you against me. He doesn't care who gets hurt. Just leave. I'll handle it. That's when I snapped. I'd already left once. I'd already abandoned her because I thought she didn't want me. But now I saw it wasn't about hate or love, it was about fear. She wasn't pushing me away because she hated me. She was pushing me away because she thought I wasn't strong enough to help her. And maybe I wasn't. But I couldn't walk out again. Not this time. I stepped closer to the man, my voice low but steady. You're done threatening her. You want something? You deal with me now. His grin widened, like I'd just said something incredibly stupid. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. The air between us was heavy, like something alive, crawling and electric. I could feel the tension clinging to my skin. The man didn't move, didn't even blink. He was waiting, testing me, like a predator deciding if I was worth the effort of tearing apart. I wanted to look strong, but my insides were shaking. I wasn't built for this kind of thing. Danger, intimidation, men like him who seemed carved out of stone. I was just a regular guy who paid his bills, made quiet dinners, and believed that love could hold everything together. Now I was standing in my own living room, about to face down someone who didn't give a damn about any of that. You're not walking out of here with anything, I said, my voice tighter than I wanted it to be. Whatever Lena owes you, I'll figure it out. You want money? Fine. But you're not scaring her anymore. The man tilted his head, amused. Money? You think this is about money now? He took a slow step forward, his boots thudding softly against the hardwood floor. It was never just about the money. She signed her word, and that word's worth more than cash. But maybe, he paused, his eyes flicking between me and Lena like he was piecing something together. Maybe you could make yourself useful. I didn't like the way he said it. Useful how? He smiled, and it wasn't a friendly smile. There's something I need done. A favor. Consider it. Payment for her little delay. You do this, and maybe I let her walk away with both legs intact. You don't. And, well, let's just say neither of you will like what happens next. Lena gasped, stepping between us, her voice cracking. No, don't you dare drag him into this. I'll pay you back. I'll find a way, just give me more time. The man's expression hardened instantly. Time is the one thing you don't have anymore, sweetheart. You've burned through every ounce of patience I had. You've got 24 hours. Either he does what I say, or I come back, and you won't like what I bring with me. I looked at Lena, my stomach twisting. She looked so small in that moment, standing there with tears streaming down her face, begging this man like her life depended on it. Maybe it did. I hated how powerless I felt, how every instinct I had screamed to grab her and run, but I knew he'd find us. Men like him always find you. What do you want? I asked finally, my voice steady despite the chaos in my chest. If it gets you out of our lives, I'll do it. He grinned like a wolf. Smart man. I like that. There's a package I need picked up tonight, across town. You'll go alone, no cops, no games. You bring it back here, and I'll consider your wife's debt reduced. What's in the package? I asked, though I already knew I wouldn't get a straight answer. Not your concern, he said flatly. You bring it, you walk. You mess up, and everything burns. Simple enough? I nodded, though my mind was screaming at me not to. I didn't know if I was about to make the biggest mistake of my life, but I couldn't let Lena face this alone. She'd gotten tangled in something dark and dangerous, and like it or not, I was part of it now. After he left, Lena grabbed my hands and whispered through trembling lips, Curtis, don't do this. He's not bluffing. Whatever he's into, it's bad. Worse than you can imagine. I squeezed her hands, though mine were shaking too. Then tell me the whole truth. What else aren't you telling me, Lena? She hesitated, and in that pause, I saw something in her eyes. A guilt so deep it scared me more than anything the man had said. There's more, she admitted softly. The money wasn't just for my brother. There's something I never told you. Curtis, something I promised I'd keep buried. But now, I don't know if I can keep you safe without telling you everything. For a moment, I just stood there, waiting for Lena to continue. My heart was pounding, my mind screaming at me to demand answers, but I could see how badly she was shaking. I took her hands and squeezed them gently. Lena, whatever it is, I need to know. We can't fight this if we're still keeping secrets from each other. She looked up at me with tear-filled eyes, her voice trembling. Curtis, my brother didn't just owe money. He got mixed up with these people, gambling, some kind of illegal deals. I tried to help him, but when I didn't have enough cash, I agreed to hold something for them, just to buy more time. That package he wants you to pick up? It's not just money. It's evidence. Something they don't want anyone else to see. I felt my stomach twist. Evidence. Lena, what did you get involved with? They're dangerous, she whispered. I thought I could handle it, but I was wrong. I wanted to tell you so many times, but I was scared you'd look at me differently, like I was just another mistake in your life. I cupped her face, forcing her to look at me. You are not a mistake. We've both messed up, but I'm not walking away from you again. We're going to fix this. Together. She nodded, and for the first time in days, I saw a flicker of hope in her eyes. I grabbed my phone, scrolled to the voicemail list, and found the recording of him threatening us. If he wants to play dirty, we can play smarter, I said. We'll give the police this, and we'll tell them everything. No deals, no packages. We end this. Lena froze. Curtis, if we go to the police, he won't, I said firmly. Not if they catch him first. It wasn't easy. My hands shook the entire time I was explaining things to the dispatcher, my voice cracking as I tried to sound brave. But once I played that voicemail and showed them the photo, things started moving fast. Within an hour, 2 unmarked cars were parked at the end of our street. They told me to sit tight, to keep Lena inside and wait. The longest 30 minutes of my life passed in silence as we sat holding each other's hands like lifelines. When the dark sedan rolled back down our street, I felt Lena tense against me. But before the man even reached the porch, the unmarked cars lit up with flashing lights. Officers swarmed him, shouting commands, and for the first time, I saw him lose that smug composure. It was over in seconds. Lena broke down sobbing as we watched him get handcuffed and shoved into the back of a police car. I held her tight, my own legs weak with relief. It wasn't over completely. They wanted our full statements, and I knew we'd have a mess to clean up, but the worst of it was done. We weren't alone anymore. That night, after the officers left, we sat on the couch, both of us too exhausted to speak for a while. Then Lena whispered, I thought I'd lost you for good. I kissed her forehead and held her close. You almost did. But you're stuck with me, whether you hate me or not. She laughed through her tears, shaking her head. I never hated you, Curtis. I hated myself for lying. I just didn't know how to fix it. I looked at her, really looked at her, and for the first time in a long while, I saw the woman I'd fallen in love with, not the stranger I'd imagined. Then we fix it together. Starting now. We didn't have all the answers that night, and maybe we still don't. But as I watched her fall asleep with her head on my chest, I realized something important. Whatever storms we go through, I don't want to face them alone. And if it means fighting for us, even when I'm terrified, then that's exactly what I'll do.